My never say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, osia dem yopo.
Were you surprised that the President of the Republic did not mention anything about the issues of delays in payments by government, especially of what we heard from the Speaker of Parliament? Because when you measure the temperature on social media and again in the lives of workers, you find out that there's that question. So were you surprised that he did not mention anything of that sort?
Yes, actually, we were not surprised because we know that anything that is coming from government, the president is well briefed. Our salary issues and the threat to workers that if care is not taken, our salaries wouldn't be paid. I know the president has equally received briefings, as the Speaker of Parliament was also received. And as the president was saying today, he is talking about workers sacrificing for us to put our hands together, all hands on deck approach for us to cope up with the difficulties we are going through. But one thing I want the president to understand is that, you know, we as workers have no problem. It's a good call. We know that indeed we are in difficult times. But we also expect the executive to also sacrifice. We have tightened our belt up to its elasticity level. We can no longer tighten the belt. So we expect the executive, the president and the Article 71 office holders to equally sacrifice. Why are we saying this? The president's commitment of fighting corruption in his own government is questionable. Recently, look at the 52 billion Ghana cedis transferred from Ghana Commercial Bank, GCB, to an unknown account. The president have not said anything about it. $12 million was missing for that was meant to purchase fertilizer for farmers. No one knows where that money is. If we look at what happens at SNIT, liquidation of three companies, $11.4 million is nowhere to be found. Non-retrieval loan balance of 147 million Ghana cedis, the same as SNIT, is gone. No supporting document of the expenditure of 141 million Ghana cedis is nowhere to be found. The same SNIT. If you come to non-retrieval of divestiture proceeds, $627 million before you come to 33.4 billion Ghana cedis from 2017 to 2020 Auditor's General's report. All these things shows clearly that the president's commitment in fighting corruption in his own government is questionable, and we cannot say we don't have money. If you look at 52 billion, how much is the e-levy? It's 7 billion. That will be 8 years contribution of the e-levy that has been transferred from GCB bank to an unknown account.
Right. Mr. Abdul, Salam, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Very well. So those are made clear, and that's what the members are calling or are worried about because they've done their bit. But again, let me just take you backward. I mean, what you had said on the briefing of the president, whether or not 3 months' salary will not be paid or cannot be paid. I'm asking this question because as I speak to you, today is the last day of the month. And again, just as we have done, underground works have shown that lots of workers have not been paid. And so it's getting right there. So are you still part of that conference right there as we speak?
I am going to confirm what you just said. I'm from my bank. I intentionally went to my bank to check. And when I went and checked, my balance there is the amount I have in the bank. Not even 1 cedi has been paid for February. Meaning no amount has been paid yet to government workers.
Right. So what it means is that going by this and judging by this, at the end of the month, 28th of February, 2022, salaries have not been paid. The members need to know, and that could be your front. Answers must come from your front, and of course, questions must go to the leaders of government, isn't it?
Exactly. And, you know, we have done some inquiries, and from Controller and Accountant General, they said, yes, indeed, there are challenges, but this month's salary has already been processed. So by tomorrow, the salaries will be paid. And we said, well. So now we are fighting next month and next 2 months, as the speaker said. And we know, as you know, when we look at the way the executives are spending money, the allowances, look at the amount allocated to the presidency alone, $489 million US, equivalent to 3 billion Ghana cedis for just 1 year budgetary allocation. Why? Are they manufacturing vehicles at the presidency? So if you are living like you are in heaven and you are asking others to be in hell just because of we are sacrificing. We are sacrificing. We believe in leadership by example. The executive must equally sacrifice for us to know. Look at fuel increment this month alone. Just 3 days ago, 15%. Workers' salary increment from 2021 and 2022 put together is just 11%. How do you expect us to survive with this? From last year up to this year, if you are to put up all the increment of fuel and whatever together, it's almost 50 to 60% against my 11% for 2 years. All these things are sacrifices that workers have done already. So threatening us that if we are not careful, our salaries wouldn't be paid next 2-3 months, we believe that they are now trying to push us to the wall, and we have to also resist it because we can no longer tighten our belt. We cannot be tightening our belts and the executives are living in heaven, pushing us to hell. I think enough is enough.
This is, I mean, the government says we don't have money, and the only time we can, gather something for the workers, public sector workers, is through the electronic levy. How do you then resist that?
My brother, we have money. We know where the money is. We can tell government to go for it.
I see.
Yes. And if you look at the 52 billion Ghana cedis that was transferred from GCB Bank to an unknown account, that is 8 years. 8 years accumulation of the e-levy.
I see.
Because a year accumulation of the e-levy is just 7 billion. So 52 billion is just 8 years. If we get this 52 billion, I bet you there shouldn't be anything like e-levy.
I see. So you can confirm that by tomorrow, some public sector workers, if not all, will be paid.
Yeah, exactly. That is from our source.
I see. Thank you very much. And that's the Executive Secretary of the Coalition Against Leadership.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
The country where I come from, the truth is irony. Just like animal farm, justice mean inequity. So who go say the truth? Who go say the truth?
My never I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there. Osia dem yopo.